Today's lesson we're learning to convert from rectangular coordinates to polar coordinates, and we have a handy little chart that's given to us on page 277, very helpful. So the first example, they asked us to convert the rectangular coordinates -4, -2 over to polar coordinates. And so you know that rectangular gives us x and y, but for polar we need rho and theta. So according to our chart, rho is equal to plus or minus the square root of x squared plus y squared. So I'm going to plug in what they gave us for my x and my y. Go ahead and reduce this square root, and I get rho is equal to plus or minus 2 square root of 5. For theta, according to the chart, theta is equal to the tangent inverse of y over x. And so I just plugged in what they gave us for y, what they gave us for x, and reduced. And then I took the tangent inverse to find the reference angle. When I actually graph this rectangular coordinates on the Cartesian plane, it's going to land somewhere about here. So the angle I need is from here over to there. So what I'm looking at is I know that I need this whole angle, and I'm given this little angle, the reference angle right here. So I'm going to take 180 and I'm going to add the reference angle to it, and it's going to give me theta equals 206.6. So now I have rho and I have theta. I have converted from rectangular coordinates to polar coordinates. That's example 1A. Example 1B, I'm going the other way. I'm converting from polar coordinates to rectangular coordinates. So I'm given rho and theta, but I need x and y. So according to the chart, x is equal to rho cosine theta, y is equal to rho sine theta. So I'm going to plug in what rho is here. I'm going to plug in what theta is. And I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to take the cosine of 150. And so when I sketch 150, it lands right here on the Cartesian plane, and so I'm looking for my reference angle, which would be this little part that's left to get us to the x-axis, and that's 30 degrees. So that's one of our special triangles, a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So I sketch that real quick, plug in what my sides are, and I know that the cosine of 150 is the cosine of 30, and the cosine of 30 is the square root of 3 over 2, and because it's a second quadrant angle, I need this to be negative because cosine is negative in the second quadrant. And so I plug that in here for cosine of 150, and then I just do the math. I canceled here, I canceled my 2's, and that left -3 square root of 3. On my y, I used exactly the same chart. For sine of 150, it is opposite over hypotenuse. So I plugged in 1/2 here, reduced, and I got y is 3. So I have now converted from polar coordinates to rectangular coordinates. This is x and y. This was rho and theta.